Okay.
Oh my God. Wait,
I
I
had
have to
to
put my
I had
headphones
to
in.
hit I
Are
had to hit
you
the button
kidding
really
me?
fast.
It actually worked?
Yeah, but I had to hit the button really fast. If I didn't hit it fast, then it went
Wow.
to my podcast.
Oh, that is interesting. Okay. Well, thank God you're raw. Thank God you have the muscle skills. You have the muscle memory. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but you know what I mean. Thank God you have the
And
coordination of a raw vegan.
the brain
And
just
you're a rocket
yeah.
scientist. So yeah, that helps. That helps. Okay, I'm actually really, really happy right now because I am done with being on camera for the day. So I'm happy about that. I'm just putting my hair up right now because ugh, I'm done. Barbie, you
All
don't even
right.
know. Can I just tell you that I was interviewed by a Berlin TV show today.
Oh,
Yeah,
and
yeah, I told you about it. So, right. So I did that today and that was so crazy because they kept stopping and saying, "Okay, like we had to like answer a question and then it was like, "All right, take 2, let's do it again." And like it was just such a weird production, but anyway, that's that.
cool.
Okay. So, Barbie, I'm so happy. Thank you so much for joining me today. And you are awesome and you had a great topic that I think is so important. It's part of my life purpose. So I was like, I wanted to jump at the chance to talk about this. Um, do you want to introduce the Minnesota starvation experiment? Because today on the podcast, we're going to be talking about the the dangers and also the waste of time that fasting and juice cleansing is, unless you're like suffering from a very, very serious disease, and we'll get Barbie's thoughts on this, but like, unless you're suffering from like a terminal illness, fasting and juice cleansing, juice feasting, whatever the fuck they're calling it now, is a really bad idea. So we're going to talk about this today.
Great, and I agree with you.
Oh, okay, good. Or else you're fired. No, she's not even getting paid for this. Um, so yeah,
Yeah, okay, so you want me to talk about that experiment?
yeah, please, because she sent me a link
Yeah.
to it, guys, and like, oh, it's so fascinating and amazing. And yeah, so there was a Minnesota starvation experiment that happened. When was this?
It was during World War II, so way back, I think the 40s, 1941 or 44 or something. Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, yeah,
and
44 to 45. Yeah.
okay, long before we were ever born. Yeah, me and Barbie.
Even me. Yeah.
Yeah, even Barbie. Yeah, Barbie wasn't even alive. Okay, so
Okay.
okay, what was this experiment?
Okay. Yeah. So they recruited um 36 men, and you can just do a search on, if you want to know about this, do a search on Minnesota starvation experiment, and the Wikipedia page comes up. That's a pretty good summary of the whole thing. So that's what I'm looking at right now. So I guess 36 men, not everyone finished, but basically what they did was they had kind of a 24 weeks, like half a year time, where they called it a starvation phase. And they monitored these guys, like they lived in this place. Um, um, they were actually um, what's that when you don't want to fight in a war? Conscientious objectors, and so this was their way of I guess doing their service to the country without serving in the war. So it actually
Huh.
was quite I mean, really quite a something. I mean, this was not easy. Okay, so they basically lived at this place for 24 weeks or almost a year. And the starvation phase was where they were getting about 1,500 calories a day, 1,570 or something. So, I mean, most of us just call that dieting, right? And
Yeah,
so,
that's not super low.
yeah, so
1,575 calories. Like
yeah,
that's average for
but
most.
they were young men,
Oh
and so
man, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
and I think they walked a lot. It
Mm-mm.
might have been going to some jobs or something. So they were getting exercise. So it actually was quite hard for them.
Mm.
And there were lots of very negative um, um, results from this. Let me try to find results. There we go. Results. Um, and let's see.
Well, I can read it.
Okay, thank you.
Many participants reported maintaining a higher than normal weight and had abnormal eating habits for many months and even years before returning to normal state. Normal meaning like they didn't have food problems. Reestablishment of normal body weight took significantly longer than suggested in the original experiment and might therefore constitute a factor contributing to the extended course of illness and tendency to relapse in eating disorders. Fasting, honestly, this is a big problem in the raw vegan community. Juice cleansing, water fasting, one meal a day, all these things that are like, there's two camps, Barbie. There's the camp that's like, okay, I want to do this to lose weight really quickly. But then there's the other camp of raw vegans where like they're saying, I'm going to do this to cleanse and heal get the mucoid plaque out and heal the old cells that, like get cleaner. So like there's the people that want to lose weight and then there's the people that want to be cleaner. And what they're doing is they are absolutely setting themselves up for failure. They're playing themselves and the body is going to not react good to this. And if you look up this experiment, Minnesota starvation experiment, you'll see that it took years for people to stop binging on food after that. And
Yeah,
so, yeah.
and I just wanted to say the results during the experiment were also really kind of yucky. I mean, there was depression. One guy cut
Mm,
off some of his fingers, and he didn't know if it was intentional or accidentally. I mean, they had their sexual interest was dramatically reduced, decline in concentration, comprehension, judgment, and they were obsessing about food. They obsessed about it all the time. They talked about it all the time. And
yeah.
like we dieters tend to do. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that too. During the experiment, it was very difficult. And then afterwards, they initially did a follow-up for a few months, but then someone did a follow-up, 57 years later. And those were the results that you read. They realized, oh, wait, these effects lasted way longer than the original experiment
Mm.
thought. And I think they they had higher weight for several years because they just they still remained obsessed with food when it was over. And that's what happens to us. I mean, that's what happens to me.
Yeah, can you tell me because okay, I did a 35-day juice cleanse. I was obsessed with food the entire time. Like I remember watching raw vegan recipe videos, and then I went to watching like high carb Hannah videos of cooked food. And I was just watching it late at night, just like so hungry because, I was drinking a lot of juice, Barbie, but I was still hungry. I wanted to chew food. And I
Mm-hmm.
remember watching these videos, and like it wasn't even raw food at this point. And like if I didn't have extremely ridiculously like set standards for what I eat, I would have gone back to eating crap after my juice cleanse. All right, because I was so obsessed with food. So like, have you ever done a cleanse? Have you ever done a water fast or a juice cleanse?
Um, I, yes, I did when I was in college and I was desperate to lose weight, I did a 7-day. I had
Mm,
no idea what a water fast was, but I went 7 days without eating and I only drank water. So I did do a water
wow.
fast, even though I had no idea what it was. And it was just, it was just the insane dieting mentality of a young woman who wants to
Hmm.
lose weight. And yeah, I'm sure I lost weight and I was miserable, and then of course I gained it all back and then some, which is what we all do. And then other times in my life I've tried a couple day fast for the same reason, just desperation. And I've never done a juice fast because it just sounds so miserable to me.
It
um
really is. And it does highly affect your mental state. And all the people I know in the raw vegan community, the people that are constantly promoting these juice cleanses, well, they're not happy. They're not healthy. They're not thriving. And they are constantly having to do the juice cleanses because they're constantly going back to eating crap. And so they go back, they do the juice cleanse, they eat processed foods, they're really upset with themselves. And so they do a reset or they do another detox to like get that crap out and start fresh and for the juice cleanse to be a catalyst to a new life. And it's like, well, Barbie, can you talk about how to get out of that mindset? Like, how did you break free from the dieting mindset? Because even though you didn't do a juice cleanse, you did lots of dieting just like me.
um well, i I started eating a healthy diet,
Mm,
and
yeah.
it started becoming an upwards spiral of like healthy. I started feeling better. I started losing weight. All of that made me happier and more motivated. And so then it made me more motivated to continue eating healthy and trying to eat healthier, getting better and better. So I didn't start off perfect, but I started off healthier than I was. And it was an upward spiral of confidence, motivation, feeling better, and losing weight. And so
Yeah.
it kind of, that's kind of how it happened for me. Um, and and yeah, I got a couple other complaints about fasting if you want to
I
hear
definitely
them.
want them, and I love what you said just now, and I also wanna touch later on another topic that you brought up, but, like, I love what you said just now, the upward spiral. You see, like, that's what it is. Once you start eating an abundance of your species-specific food, you will start to have an upward spiral. It's not just a physical thing, it's a mental thing too. You'll start to feel better and make better decisions, and you won't be so focused on the immediate results because that's not what gets you the life you want. The immediate results, like everybody wants to lose 20 pounds right now. But if you lost it right now, Barbie, your body would be, you wouldn't have any muscle tone. Your body, you would be skinny fat or fat skinny, whatever the term is. And you wouldn't be happy. Plus, you didn't even learn the lessons you needed to learn to lose the weight. So it's like you got it for free. And we all know what happens when you get something for free. You don't fucking value it. So go on
Mhm.
with your complaints about fasting because I'm really into it.
Well, a lot of people, I'm trying to understand what are the arguments for fasting. And one of them is, um, dramatic health improvements.
Oh,
But
right.
but so are fruits and vegetables. I mean, we get dramatic health improvements from eating fruits and vegetables. I would say fasting's a last resort. First adopt a healthy diet and then see if you need to fast. And then another another thing I've heard, so I can understand if you have some disease that just is not
That
being
you
helped
yeah, you
by
went raw. Okay, I don't
yeah,
wanna cut you off, but, like, you went raw. It didn't help, okay, and now you gotta do the last resort, which is a
yeah.
water fast, but by the way, I wanna just say we're not gonna name names, okay? But I wanna say these fasting centers, like, Barbie, why are there so many fasting centers, and why aren't there any raw vegan centers? Like, where are
Ah,
the raw vegan centers?
that's a good point. And actually that was going to be my next complaint was the fasting centers. Because okay, so one argument I've heard is, well, it will reset your taste buds, and then you'll and then during the refeeding, you'll eat healthy food, and it'll taste fantastic, and then you'll be all set to go. You're now your
Yeah.
taste buds are reset, and you're eating healthy food. Now you can go home and just do your healthy diet. And if that's the way it worked, I'd be all for it. But what I've seen instead is, and I've only witnessed this, I haven't experienced it myself, but I just know some friends. I've been in the whole food plant. I've been in the healthy eating community for years. I've only been raw for one, um, but I've met a lot of friends. And so what happens is you spend a lot of money. Okay, so you buy a plane ticket, and then you spend a lot of thousands of dollars at these fasting centers, and you and
To
you
drink
go
water.
and yeah, and I mean, it sounds like a hero's journey. I mean,
Yes.
fasting for 2 or 3 weeks. I mean, it
Yeah.
it must be the most hard thing anyone goes through. And in that sense, I have the utmost, respect for these people, and not just respect, but just like admiration for that they could survive that, because I can't imagine it. Anyway, so they survive that, and then they refeed, and yes, the steamed zucchini tastes like heaven. And then they go home. Then they go home, and then 3 months later, and then it's the same thing as that Minnesota starvation experiment. They just can't stop thinking about food, and they crave high calorie dense foods. They crave the foods with the most calories, which often ends up being processed foods. And then 3 months later, 6 months later, they're right back to where they were, and they're heavier. And I just it makes my heart, it, you know, ache for them, that they went through all that and now it's all undone, you know?
Have you ever heard Dr. Goldhammer talk about the ghrelin and leptin receptors that are getting completely fucked up through fasting? Has he ever
No.
addressed that?
Dr. Goldhammer? No, I've heard him talk about how great fasting is and how I never heard him talk about
Well,
the
no,
negative side.
I'm just wondering that if that's ever been a question, because you're like me, you
Hmm.
research a lot, you study a lot, and you have seen a lot of, like, you've gotten a lot of information and watched videos like me, and I'm wondering if he's ever addressed that anywhere.
Hmm.
Because the truth is that, like, our hormones get very, very confused. Our body gets confused, our hormones get fucked up. I was thinking of another word besides fucked up. Disrupted. Our hormones get disrupted. Our ghrelin and leptin receptors are confused because, well, basically, we are not supposed to be in a famine, but when we are, our body, like, it survives, okay, and it shuts off when you're not getting food. So you're not getting food for days and days and days, and finally your body's like, okay, we're going into starvation mode. We're not going to be hungry anymore because this is a famine. But then when you give yourself a little bit of food, the body says, okay, the famine is over. Now we have to pack in as many calories as possible because famine is possible. And I think that's the problem here,
Mm.
because what people are not realizing is that this is how our biological design is. It's to be able to survive a famine. And then when we feed ourselves, we pack it in so that we can survive again. But see, if you tell your body through your actions, if you tell your body through eating, okay, we're not going to be famine, there's no famine. Like, we have all the food we want. If you give yourself all the calories you want from healthy fruit and vegetables, your body doesn't go into that starvation mode. Your body doesn't want any more than it needs because it knows that it's going to get the food. If it's, like, so obvious to me, Barbie, but how come other people don't see it?
That was a good explanation for what happened with the Minnesota starvation experiment. Because, yeah,
Yeah.
afterwards they had plenty of food, but they just could not stop eating.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't even, the thing is that I think I understand it better because I've experienced it myself. I've experienced both sides. Like, I think of, like, Joni Mitchell, Both Sides Now. That album was about fasting, Barbie, because basically I've experienced starving myself and then losing 20 pounds in a month because of a fast. And then I gained 40 pounds in the next few months because I couldn't stop eating. And I gained 40 pounds on fruit and vegetables, guys, nuts and seeds. Okay. I was a raw fucking vegan. I gained 40 pounds because I could not stop. And then I see it from the other side now, which is I will never do another juice cleanse or water fast because now I don't eat out of control anymore. I eat when I'm hungry and I stop when I'm full. And sometimes, yeah, I find myself eating because, like, I just need something to snack on at a movie. I'll eat some grapes when I don't really need the grapes, or, I'll find myself doing that once in a while, but I'm not binging. I'm not, like, stuffing myself to capacity where, like, I can't walk, where I'm just in so much pain. And I see it now what I did wrong, which was I just took my unhealthy eating, like disordered eating, over to the raw vegan lifestyle. And
Mhm.
that's what most of these raw vegans are doing. And yeah, I see it now so clearly. But Barbie, did you have anything other complaints about fasting?
I think I got most of mine out of the way.
I wanna bring up this thing that you talked about. It was so fucking good, and I never thought about it, which was men and women.
Oh,
How
okay, yeah.
women, yeah, I want you to talk about it because, like, you discovered this, that, like, women are different than men, and so, like, these raw vegan men that can fast, the it's going to be a different result even though the Minnesota starvation was all men. But in general, women have a lot harder time with fasting. And can you talk about, like, what your opinion is on this and why do you think this is?
Okay, it's total speculation,
Yeah,
but
but it
but
makes
I
sense.
just have noticed throughout my life that men seem to, okay, this is, generalization, but a lot of men seem to they just aren't as obsessed with food as women, and they can go longer without eating, and, like, they forget to eat. I mean, I never forget to eat. And
I, I agree. Sorry, I was on mute, but, like, I've never forgotten to eat ever in my life. Like, how
yeah,
is that possible?
and also so many, like, I was just listening to Fruity Fridays today, and this guy was just, like, telling us that the raw food diet is the healthiest diet in the world. and then in addition, you need to intermittent fast and calorie restrict and fast. And
Who was
uh,
on the Fruity Fridays?
I don't remember his name. Someone from Brazil. Um,
Okay.
sorry, but
No, it's okay.
but it was just yet one other person. It's like, why are there so you? This is a question for you. Why are there so many raw vegans who are recommending fasting? But anyway, you can answer that next after I finish. But um, and and then then there's another fasting guy who, I mean, there's so many of these raw vegans are men and they love to fast. And whereas I think the women like the juice fasting more. But anyway, my
Mm-hmm.
idea is just that it just um I just think maybe it's possible that we're different, men and women. And because and it's evolutionary, because women always had the kids, women had
Mm-hmm.
babies, and they had and they so they were trying to get food for themselves, and they needed to make sure they had enough so they could have babies and raise babies and feed babies. So I just think women in general are just more food centered than men, and men are more sex centered. I think everyone would agree with that. Um, and and so I think fasting has a bigger negative effect on women. That rebound at the end, that starvation mode where you want to then, when you're done starving, you want to eat. I think it might be a bigger effect in women than men, and maybe that's why so many more women, have eating disorders and stuff. It's
Absolutely, Barbie. Absolutely. I really love this topic. And this is a whole show on its own because, well, that's why I only work with women now because I truly believe that women are using food the way men are using sex because we are biologically designed to, like, women, we're biologically designed to give birth. So we have to eat for two. We're feeding ourselves to make sure we have enough body fat so we can get pregnant. And then once we have a baby in our stomach, we have to feed that baby. And then once we give birth, we have to feed that baby with the milk that we're producing. And then we have to, and then we do it all over again. Like that's
Yeah.
why
So then we got
women,
to feed that baby and all
yeah,
the other
right.
babies we've had.
And we have to have all the energy to do this. And so we need more, we need substance and calories. And it's interesting because like that's what we were biologically designed for. If you at the end of the day, women were designed to have babies and men were designed to spread their seed to have the babies, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay, so that's our biological design. Now, men are more condition like they're focused on sex more and women are focused on food a lot. And the problem is that when we're starving, then a lot of things go wrong. And when men don't have sex, then I guess some things will go wrong there too. Right? I don't know about that, but I'm a woman and for sure, I know for a fact that women react differently to fasting. Now, why do so many raw vegan men recommend fasting? I think it has to do with Arnold Ehret's influence, which I'm a
Mhm.
big Arnold Ehret fan, but I think that the raw vegan men are just looking at the past and people like Arnold Ehret, who wrote a book called Rational Fasting. They're looking at Herbert Shelton, which recommended fasting. They're looking at all of the raw vegans in the past who recommended it, and they were all men, by the way. And fasting is amazing. It is the fastest way to heal, but the problem is that if you don't learn how to eat, there's absolutely no point in fasting. And so when
Right.
you go on a fast or when you go on a juice cleanse, you don't learn how to be a healthy human. You don't
Right.
learn how to eat a fruit and vegetable exclusive diet. You see, like you learn how to fast. You learn
Right.
whatever you do, you learn how to do. So, like, that's the problem with the fasting centers too, Barbie. You learn how to not eat. They don't teach you how to eat a healthy vegan
Right.
diet. They teach you how to fast. So it's like, okay, you become an expert on fasting and then, well, what happens when you need to be a human again and go to work and do the other things that require calories instead of lying in bed? That's why, oh my gosh. Okay, so the dream is for Woodstock Fruit Festival to have a retreat center all year long where we teach people how to eat a raw vegan diet. Now,
Mm.
this is in the future, way in the future, because we need to find land and develop it and all that stuff. Fruit, plant the fruit trees. But like Barbie, I think you and I should open a center this year where we can literally teach people this because okay, so there's the Hippocrates Center, but like they're obsessed with fat and sprouts
Mm-hmm.
because the guy in charge is just a fucking idiot. and I'm just gonna say it. And he has crazy bleach blonde hair, and it doesn't even make sense what's going on. And they have like chlorinated pools where they said salt water, but it's chlorine because I know people that went there and they have chlorine allergies, and they broke out in hives and horrible rashes. They have all these like people working at the Hippocrates Center that eat McDonald's like on site. Like it's a terrible place, and I don't recommend it. I've heard too many problems with it, like too many stories from people that go to Woodstock and then went to Hippocrates. And the main thing I have the problem with is that they don't have fruit. What in the
Hmm.
actual fuck? What are they running here? Like, okay, so it's sprouts and fat. So nut pates, avocado, unlimited nuts and seeds and sprouts. What is going on where there's no fruit? They're
And that
saying
green stuff that you make from, what is that? Wheatgrass.
Rejuvelac. Oh,
Oh
wheatgrass,
yeah.
but
Ooh,
Rejuvelac.
both those. Yeah. Ooh.
Have you been there?
No, no, I
Oh,
just have
okay.
heard about it.
Yeah. I mean, this is all ridiculous. And they say that they're not doing fruit so that they can like have a very low sugar diet because sugar feeds the cancer. People go there to heal. And that is such an old way of believing. We know that cancer is not fed by fruit, or else the healthiest people in the world would not be eating a fruit-based diet, and everybody in the cancer center ward at the hospital would be eating fruit, and would be have to be weaned off fruit, when meanwhile they're not eating fruit. They're eating animal products and processed foods and processed sugar. This is so crazy. But that's why we exist, Barbie, because we're going to change the world, and we're going to inspire the world to think with their common sense. Common sense is fruit and vegetables are the healthiest foods on earth. We should not be afraid of them. We should not be limiting them. We should not be fasting. We should not be juice cleansing. Juice cleansing is so popular, and all these raw vegans are getting so many views and so many subscribers
Yeah.
because it's a quick fix, and that's what
Right.
everybody wants. And you know, I'm not I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it, Barbie, and I know you're not going to either. I'm not going to sell my soul to the juice cleansing world in order to get views, because it doesn't work. Yeah, it's a quick fix. You might lose 10 pounds in a week, but then you'll gain 20 back and more. And I'm telling you right now, you could try you'll see it won't work for you. And all those people that say it's working for them, well, we don't actually know what they're eating. We know people like Matt Monarch. We see what happened with him, who was constantly fasting, who was constantly juice cleansing. He had a goddamn he had his colon removed. He had, what did he have, Barbie?
I don't
Uh,
know, but oh, I feel so sorry for him when I listen to him.
yeah, me too.
I haven't in a long time, but whew.
He had a Crohn's disease, or he had something
Hmm.
that he had to have his colon removed, and he tried everything to reverse it. He tried all the fasting, he tried the juice cleansing, he even went to animal products, he went to this, he went to that, and the problem is that he never ate a healthy raw vegan diet ever. You know why? Because he was doing drugs. He was taking so many powders and supplements because he was selling them, so he had to like convince himself that that was healthy, and he was doing all this extra stuff, cacao constantly, like he was in that field where like he was selling this crap. So like that's the problem. Okay. He wasn't focusing on an abundance of fresh, ripe, juicy, delicious fruit and vegetables, nuts and seeds if you want to, but mostly fruit and vegetables. He was taking lots of supplements. He was taking lots of cacao and all these different, powders and potions and these things. And he was doing constant colonics. He got a colonic machine in his house. Okay. He like made a lot of money from this raw food website, and the more money you have and the more time you have, the more damage you can do. Okay, honestly. So you got to keep yourself busy with productive things, with positive habits. You got to keep yourself focused on nature knows best. Man doesn't know what the fuck to do or what the fuck to eat. And when you take all these things that are like supplements and that are designed by man, you're going to fail. You've got to focus on the things designed by nature. Oh, juice cleansing, juicers, designed by man, Barbie. Designed by
Mm-hmm.
man. And yeah, you and I have juicers. So like, tell me, do you juice? Like, well, what's your juice life like?
Um, I actually don't really juice for myself. I juice for my partner because she doesn't eat healthy. And
Oh, very
I mean,
good. Yes,
sorry.
yes,
Well,
yes.
okay, she won't listen, so it's okay that I said that. Um, but so it's getting vegetables and fruit in her, and so and she likes it. So
Yes, yes, yes. That is exactly what I do too. So my roommate, she's actually on her healthy vegan journey. Okay. It took 12 years, but I finally inspired her because things got bad enough with her health that she finally has to. Okay. So she's now a healthy vegan and she doesn't eat a lot of fruit and vegetables. So like I juice for her a lot because then I
Hmm.
know that she'll get a lot of nutrients in her
Yeah.
body and it's going to help her a lot. And listen, Barbie, keep doing that because your partner is going to be inspired one day, either because she wants to or because she has to. But one day it's literally going to happen where she's going to be like, you know what? I don't want to eat crap anymore because I can't or I just don't want to. You know, one of those things is going to happen and it's going to be so, you're going to be so fucking happy.
Yeah.
That
Well,
that
the
day is
transition
coming.
is happening very slowly because
Hmm.
she eats when we're home. She eats juice at breakfast and a smoothie at night, and I make her something healthy at lunch, and then she eats her M and
Yes.
M's and cookies and stuff. Um, but overall, she's when we travel, she's eating less and less of the really awful stuff because it gives her a stomach ache.
Yeah.
So yeah, there is a slow transition happening. So it's good.
Oh, Barbie, trust me, it's been 12 years for me. And like, so it might take 12 years, but it's so worth it and it's amazing. And I'm just so excited because like I see her getting healthier and healthier. And then now she doesn't even want to eat the crappy foods. Like she's eating cooked food, but it's all health. It's all like, sweet potatoes and kale. And like, it's just amazing. It's so
That is
amazing.
so awesome.
Yeah.
So
And
happy
she's
to
never
hear
gonna
that.
be raw though. Like that's the thing, guys. You don't have to like be raw to be healthy. Like she doesn't want to be raw, and that's okay. Raw is not for everyone. It's for the elite of society, like me and Barbie. But like if you want, you can just be super happy and healthy and just eating cooked food. Like she buys this pasta now that's just chickpeas. Like that's the only ingredient. And it's like, this is so much healthier than Burger King. Okay. So let's just calm down. We don't need to be 100% raw, but I need you to be 100% healthy. I need you to eat 100% healthy food if you want to be healthy. Cause, like, honestly, a lot of us, it's not going to work eating mostly healthy and then some crap. What's going to happen is that we're not going to be able to stop eating the crap. The crap is designed for you to be addicted to. And most women are food addicts. I'm finding, Barbie. I really
Yeah.
am. And most men are more addicted to sex, and that's just how we biologically are designed.
Yeah.
So
And
thanks for pointing that out. It's really
and
good.
I'd like to just um go back to something you mentioned, which I just think was such a great point, which is that the fasting centers teach you how to fast, and the
Right.
juicing the fast, the juice fast people teach you how to juice fast, and they aren't teaching you how to eat healthy, and there's so much involved with eating healthy, because
Yeah.
it is just simply, yeah, eat fruits and vegetables. That is all it is. But it's also, okay, how do you do that in social situations? How do
Right.
you give up your processed foods? How do you have the right mindset, and so that you're
How
not
do you know when your fruit
constant.
is ripe? How do you
Yeah.
have enough at home? Yeah, right, right.
And how many exceptions are you going to make? How many excuses are you going to make? and
Right.
and and like,
Right.
do you like to problem solve? Because you're going to have to problem solve. So those are the things that that we like to teach. I'm not a
Yeah.
teacher yet, but
Not yet, but you'll be at the center. We're opening a center, guys. Okay, so if anybody wants to help us fund this, well, you can send it to my PayPal, JD at MSFitVegan.com. Somebody is listening to this, Barbie, that's a billionaire, and they want to fund this center that we're going to open to help. And it might be called the Misfit Vegan uh, Eat Fruit Be Cute Center. We're not sure. But
sounds good.
so, Barbie, don't get any ideas that it's the Raw Vegan Barbie
No.
Center. Okay. No. But it might be called the Eat Fruit Be Cute Center, but we don't know yet. Anyway, the point is that listen, you're right, Barbie, and you know what? I got to stop thinking that it's so easy cuz it is easy
I
for
know.
us, but it's
I
not easy for people that don't
I
know.
did a podcast on that because I was like, it's so easy. All you have to do is
Right.
peel an orange, but
Right.
really, and then I did a couple more, and I said, okay, it's not so easy because you have to learn, because your burger tastes so much better. Oh, and so does your vegan burger. It tastes so much better because it's full of salt, sugar, and oil.
Yes.
Everything at restaurants is full of salt, sugar, oil, cheese, meat, blah blah blah. So yeah, it's
It's
not easy,
it's
but
easy now that we know how to do it, Barbie.
yeah.
Okay? And like I got to catch up on your podcast and everybody listening, please subscribe to the Raw Vegan Barbie podcast. Wait, is it the or just Raw Vegan?
I, it's raw vegan Barbie.
Yeah. Raw Vegan
I
Barbie
don't know.
podcast. You have to subscribe to this because it's really amazing. I have to catch up. She's getting out of
It's not
control
that
here.
amazing, but
No,
anyway,
she's getting extremely productive. I got
it's
a
just
lot of
me.
competition now.
It's just me spouting off. I on episode 47, I'm only up to 50, but on episode 47, it suddenly dawned on me that I can spout off. So I started spouting off.
Yeah. And you know what? The people that listen won't mind. And the people that get annoyed, well, good riddance. Who needs them? You know, that's what I figure. That's what I tell myself anyway. Like my fans won't mind if I like just spout or just complain one day because they know some value's coming in a future episode, you know, so they'll stick around. And then the people that don't like it, well, bye, bye. Like it doesn't even matter. So like I'm really excited to catch up on your podcast. I really like it. And everyone go subscribe. And basically, Barbie, thanks for inspiring me because you're right. You're 100% right. It is not easy for people that don't know how to do it yet. Now, once you learn how to do it, it's very easy. So I got to focus on that. And I wrote that down just now because, you know, there is lots of things. And Barbie, you helped me so much learn. It's a learning curve. It's a learning curve. And you need to learn how to be a healthy human, how to eat. And we're not taught that. And nutritionists don't know. Okay. I was just on a live and this woman, she's trying to be healthy, she's trying to be vegan, and her nutritionist is recommending these protein balls for breakfast, which are like literally nuts, seeds, peanut butter, cranberries, spirulina in there. I don't know, maybe some dates or something. But it's like for breakfast, that's a terrible breakfast. That's a terrible fucking idea. But because this woman is a nutritionist, everyone's going to listen to her, and it's like they're paying her to tell her to have this recipe, but like this is a terrible breakfast because at the end of the day, um fruit is the only thing you should be eating for breakfast. And let me tell you why. Because between 7 a.m. and 11 a.m., this is the most cleansing time for your body. Your body's doing all of the detoxing between 7 a.m. and 11 a.m. That's just how it works with the circadian rhythm and the sun and our body. So we need to make sure that before 11 a.m., we are not eating anything heavy. We're eating very, very light foods that help our body in the detoxing digestive process. Okay. So if you're putting in nuts and seeds or protein powder or any bread or, God forbid, animal products, you're absolutely slowing down the detoxification process and you're eliminating your body's ability to process the foods that you ate the day before. Please understand, fruit is the only thing you should be eating before 11 a.m. And nutritionists they don't know. They don't fucking know, Barbie. They don't know. And
Yeah.
it's not their fault. They just don't know. They just don't know. They're not taught it. And most people don't know, Barbie. Most people don't know, right? Like how to eat.
Right. Yeah.
So
And also, you brought up a point about your body's always detoxing, because a lot of one reason people are always bringing up these fasts. Oh, well, I'm going to do a juice fast to detox, or I'm going to do a juice fast to cleanse.
right,
And I'm
right,
thinking,
right.
cleanse from what? And I'm thinking, oh, because you've been going to
Right.
vegan restaurants. Okay, fine. But 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 if you eat a healthy diet, fruits and vegetables, and a little bit of nuts and seeds if you want, um, you don't need to detox or cleanse. Your body's detoxing and cleansing all the time. So,
Yeah, great point.
and
Every
if
single
you did
day.
go to the vegan restaurant and the raw vegan restaurant, that's okay. You can still detox and cleanse by eating a healthy raw vegan or cooked vegan diet with fruits and vegetables.
But it's not as sexy, Barbie. It's not as sexy to do. You want, you know, them doing these raw vegan resets, these 3-day juice
Right.
cleanses, these 5 that's sexy and that's like, okay, this is like a quick fix. And like
And you lose weight faster. And that's what really everyone wants, is to lose weight really fast.
and it's honestly easier sometimes for people to do it because like it's an all or nothing mentality and like sometimes it's easier to not eat anything at all than to eat fruit and vegetables because I get it.
Mm.
Like, yeah, that makes sense. Like sometimes it's easier. It's almost like the same as like us. It's easier for us to not eat chocolate than to have one bite of chocolate. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Oh,
So
yeah.
like I get it. I get it. But at the same time, all these people that are promoting the juice cleanses, I'm telling you guys, they're not raw. They're not healthy. They're not happy. If they were raw, they wouldn't have to be going on a juice cleanse. If they were happy and healthy and eating a sustainably healthy raw vegan diet, why would they constantly be doing these juice cleanses? It don't make sense. And one more thing I wanted to say, Barbie, but your genius just distracted me. We're just giving so much value. It's very distracting. Um, uh, Oh, yeah, I wanna talk about Eli Martyr. I hate to name names, but it just is what it is. I wanna know, what is your opinion on this guy? Because I don't know him very well. I've done a few interviews and, we're technically associates. We're not friends. We're just, we're coworkers in this raw vegan movement, I guess, right? And so I don't understand what's going on here where he did a what I eat in a day and he loves to fast, okay? He loves to
Mhm.
fast. And he said that he eats like it looks like 800 calories and sometimes he eats less. He eats like
Whoa.
listen, here's his what I eat in a day. And this guy is a stunt man, guys, okay? So I'm talking
Yeah.
about he's a stunt man who has crazy muscles. He's in amazing shape and he's promoting eating like a handful of grapes. No, he ate a tiny melon for breakfast, a handful of grapes for lunch, and like 4 or 5 persimmons for dinner. He never eats salads. He doesn't eat fat, he says. He eats only fruit for 8 years now. He works out like crazy. He's a stunt man. And can somebody tell, like, this is not real. Like, this can't be real. I don't know what my question is, Barbie, but I just needed your thoughts on this. Like, is this possible?
Um, I no. So then
No.
you got to wonder, okay, what is he really eating?
That's what I'm saying. No, and it's like,
And when
it's
and
interesting. Yeah,
yeah,
go on.
well, just that whenever people are just going on and on about nutrients and fasting and stuff, it just really makes me wonder. Well, what are they eating that requires them to go overboard with the fasting? I mean,
Right.
and then one of them, and I guess I don't want to name names. Well, okay, I'll name names. uh, I don't know the community very well yet, but the guy, the guy who now eats, um, he has a different name for cooked foods. He calls it heat processed foods.
Oh, John Kohler?
Yeah, so he just obsesses about nutrients, right? And he obsesses
Yeah.
about juicing and all this stuff and getting and cooking things just the right, or eating them raw, or juicing and vacuum sealing and all this. And then whenever he does eat what he eats in a day, often he'll talk about this vegan restaurant he went to and he got this wrap, and it's clearly not raw and it's not unprocessed.
Mm-mm.
It's and
Yeah.
so it's like, well, no wonder you're then going and doing your juicing afterwards because you just ate a bunch of processed food.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, good point. Well, and I just wanna say, I mean, I wanna do another interview with Eli, and I wanna talk to him about it, but I feel like he's not gonna tell me the truth if he does, because it's like and the crazy thing is
Well,
that,
maybe he
like,
will.
then his whole brand will be gone. Like, he won't have the I don't know, because he doesn't seem to be selling anything. So maybe I
Hmm.
will talk to him because he doesn't have any books. He does coach, but like I think he makes most of his money from being a stuntman and he doesn't promote products. And so I'm really like, yeah, I'm gonna ask him for another interview because I don't see how it's possible. And then I think he mentioned that like we don't need a lot of calories when we're eating a lot of nutrient dense foods. But like that's not true.
Mm-mm.
I know that when I don't eat a lot during the day, when I don't eat enough, I won't say a lot, Barbie. When I don't eat enough during the day, I'm hungry at night. I'm hungry at night. And it's like, I don't understand how he's not hungry after a very tiny amount of food. And he's working out way more than me. So something's not right here. Here's what's happening. He's either eating cooked food and just like not talking about it. He's either eating way more than he says he is, or what? Do men not need as much food as women, Barbie? Is that possible?
I don't think so. I think they
Yeah, I
need
don't think
more.
so. Yeah, I think if you're working out, you need more. And I can't imagine like doing what he does physically and not eating an abundance of calories. I mean, he should be eating at least 3,000 calories, not a fucking 800. So then people look at these YouTubers, Barbie, and then they think there's something wrong with them. And
Right.
then they're like, "Oh, why do I have to eat so much? I'm such a glutton, or I'm such I don't have any willpower." And it's like, no, something's wrong, something's off. And I hate to talk about him because he seems like a really nice guy, and we've done interviews, and he's a very nice person. We've talked a few times on the phone and stuff, and so I'm gonna interview him, and I'm gonna try to get to the bottom of it. But like, if he lies, I can't help that. You know what I mean? Like, it's definitely not true that he's eating such a small amount. There's no
Yeah.
fucking way.
Well,
There's no
hopefully he'll
fucking
tell the
way.
truth. Most people do tell the truth.
I
I
don't
mean,
know. No, I don't think
well,
so. No, most people are selling shit, Barbie, but he doesn't seem to be
yeah,
selling. So I want to talk to him because, like, all these other people, they have their fucking Namwa codes and they have their fucking protein powders and they have their raw resets and they have their this and their that. And I don't trust anyone anymore that sells anything. Like, I'm sorry. I'm never gonna sell another supplement. I don't want to have any more discount codes for supplements because I do have two and I don't want to have it anymore. I want to get rid of those. My Daily Green Boost discount code, and then I have this probiotic that like really helped me and I take. But like I don't want to sell them anymore because I don't want people to think that I'm just recommending
mhm,
it because I want to
yeah,
make money. That's not how I make money. I make money honestly by running the Woodstock Fruit Festival, and I honestly make money by coaching people on how to eat a raw vegan diet. I don't want to make money on these supplements and these juicers and stuff and these cleanse
yeah,
resets.
because you'll be influenced by it even when you are
Right.
trying not to be.
Yeah, Barbie, thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to get off your chest regarding fasting? Because
Um,
I
I
thought this
just wanted
was
to
a really good
add,
one.
you mentioned about if you don't eat enough, then, and what I've noticed is if I don't eat enough bananas, then because they somehow give me the amount of calories I need
Yeah,
along with everything else. But the bananas are really, I don't know, they just really help.
yeah.
And then I'll be eating the nuts and the dates later on in the day. So yeah, I just wanted to just confirm what you said, that it really helps to eat enough, and then you won't be desiring, because if you don't eat enough, you start desiring the higher calorie dense foods, which often ends up being processed foods.
Every time, every single time. I also need to have bananas and dates. Not so much dates, but I notice that if I don't have the bananas, I am not at all going to be happy. And if I go like that for a number of days, like if I don't have enough bananas or, listen, I eat tropical fruit. So like the reason why
Mm,
Barbie's in,
yeah,
in Wisconsin, guys.
yeah,
Okay. So like bananas have to be her staple. But
yeah,
when you move to the tropics, you'll have mame sapote and you'll have
right.
jackfruit and you'll have
Oh,
durian and you'll have those things. But the thing is that you'll have to have some type of nutrient, like calorie dense fruit.
right,
Okay. And that's bananas. And that's
right,
bananas. And so, yeah, if you're having enough, then you don't even need the nuts and seeds. You don't need the fats. You don't need and there's nothing wrong with fats, but like they don't
right,
feel good.
but
They don't make you
but I
feel good.
right, and but if I don't eat enough bananas, I'll eat too many nuts. Like
Right.
I'll just keep eating them. I'll eat a whole bag.
Because
So
there's the calories. And at the end
yeah,
of the day, we need the calories. So that's where I'm trying to understand where Eli is like not needing calories, but everyone else does. Like, and he's okay, sorry, I just need to get this out. He's saying it's because it's nutrient dense. He's eating a lot of nutrient dense foods.
oh yeah,
Barbie, can you help me? What in the fuck? Aren't we eating nutrient dense foods?
yeah. I never got that. I never
I
got it.
don't
Dr.
get it.
Furman says that too. Like, well, if you eat a whole bunch of greens, then you won't be you'll be getting all the nutrients you need, and then your body will be
Right.
satisfied, and you'll eat less, and you'll lose weight. And I'm like, that's never happened for me. My body wants calories.
Calories, yeah. Yeah, absolutely, and, oh, don't even get me started. Yeah, I think I need to do an interview with this fucking guy because he doesn't eat any greens either, Barbie. He eats
Oh,
fruit only for, like, 8 years, he says.
uh huh.
I have a
Yeah, just
problem.
ask him. It'll be fun.
I did, no, but I
Oh, okay.
do,
You
and then
already
he
do.
says, well, I mean, he just did an interview with Jillian, and this is what he's saying, and so it's like, well, I don't think it's true.
Hmm.
I don't see how it's possible, and there's only one other human on the planet that I do think it's possible for her, and her name is Ann Osborne. She is not lying. Like, I know her personally. I spent time with her in person and on the phone. She doesn't eat greens. She only eats fruit. But here's what I think is different between her and Eli Martyr. I feel like this is a raw vegan gossip show now. I love it. So basically, Ann Osborne, she grew up on a farm. She was eating lots of fresh fruit and vegetables as a kid, and she actually like she lives in Australia, and I think she has way better quality produce than people
Yeah.
that are living in America. And I just think that it's possible. She's eating tropical fruit as well,
Yeah.
and I think that's very possible. Now, Eli's in Canada. I know he's
Okay.
not getting the quality fruit that Ann Osborne's getting. He's fucking not. There's no way. Like, she's in the tropics. And she has her own farm and stuff, and she's growing her own mammy sapotes and stuff. She's growing her own fruit. So like, I don't think that I don't think it's possible. And so I just want nobody to compare themselves to Eli or anyone that's claiming that they eat very little fruit and like they don't need greens and they don't need cooked food and they don't need nuts or seeds either. Um, and one more thing I want to say, and then we'll end it. I just want to say that you have to focus on what's working for you. If you find that you're eating a lot of processed foods because you're trying to fast and you're trying to do these juice cleanses, well, then you see that it's not working for you. If you find that you can't do something the way somebody else says they can do it, well, it's not working for you. You've got to find the way that works for you. Me personally, I found what works for me, which is eating an abundance of fresh, ripe, juicy, delicious fruit and vegetables. Yeah, I do eat some nuts and seeds when I want, but lately, Barbie, I've actually been having none. And what's
Oh,
working for me is that I found some recipes of dressings that I like. Okay. Like Barbie knows, like the mango, dill, or like mango tomato dressing. I also make this guacamole now with peas. I feel so much better. I feel lighter. I definitely don't miss the nuts and seeds or the avocado. But if I want to eat it, I'll eat it. I found what works for me, but you got to find what works for you and just keep doing that. When you find the diet that works for you, that makes you feel good, that is sustainable, that makes you lose weight, that makes you sleep better, that helps you with your mood and helps you with your cravings, stick to that. And I don't care what any raw vegan says. I don't care what I say or what Barbie says. If you found what works for you and it's a healthy vegan diet, then continue doing that. And maybe that means you eat avocados in the morning. Fuck it. You know what I mean? Maybe that
yeah.
means, you are having more savory, salty cravings than us because we like sweet. And that's another thing. It's like my friend Awa, she doesn't want to be raw vegan because she really likes salty. And she's like, I can't imagine eating sweet all day. But like me, I always dreamed of being able to eat sweets all day.
Yeah, me too.
So Barbie, so maybe we're different than some other
Yeah.
humans. You know what I mean? Okay, so listen, this is like the best thing ever. Avocado with some dulse on it. It's like so salty. It's so good. Lemon and lime. Put some lemon or lime on there too, and it's really good.
Ooh,
Now, yeah, it's really really good. Now, me, I've replaced my avocado with peas. I make this guacamole from peas.
I know.
Barbie, did you try
I
it yet?
can't. No, but I can't wait to try it. Now that I'm home, I'm going to try it.
Barbie, it's life changing. It is so good. And I started putting it on my salads as dressing. Like it's guacamole. It's
Oh,
fucking so good.
great.
And I got to get more peas from Costco. But anyway, yeah, that's all I wanted to say was don't listen to us, listen to your body, but make sure you're not playing yourself, okay? Because if you think that eating processed foods or going on juice cleanses or water fast is the way, it's not. It's absolutely not. Eating a healthy plant exclusive diet is the only way to be a healthy human. But, listen, it might vary for you. You might want to eat nuts and seeds and that works for you. You might want to eat avocado. You might want to eat your savory meals for breakfast or lunch or whatever. Find the way that works for you and keep doing that and don't listen to what anybody else says. That's the way I want to end
I
it.
agree with that completely. Great advice.
Yeah, and people got to stop playing themselves, Barbie, because the fasting ain't going to ever work. It's never going to work. And the Minnesota people proved it. Every single person that goes to these retreat centers proves it. It's never going to work. You're going to have to come to terms with the quick fix is for people that want to play themselves their whole goddamn lives. It don't work. It don't work. Anyway, that's the show, Barbie. Wow. Okay, I feel better. Do you feel better?
That was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I got an emotional colonic. I just got I just vented about all my stuff that I wanted to say about fasting. And yeah, thank you very much, Barbie. Now that we've figured out how to do this, we'll do this again, hopefully in next week, maybe,
Okay.
or sometime in the
Sounds
future
great.
soon. And I thank you very much, Barbie, for being here. Thank you, everybody, for listening. If you liked this podcast, please consider subscribing, sharing it with a like minded friend or a friend that is playing themselves, going on these goddamn juice cleanses or water fasts. And we'll see you in the next episode. Thank you, Barbie.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.